go through 2 balancing exercises to practice. These are really useful if balance in general is an issue for you, if you're trying to improve single leg stability or strength, and if you're trying to improve or even rehab from an ankle sprain or a foot injury of some sort, surgery, anything similar like that. So it's going to incorporate the whole body naturally and on single leg exercises. So we're going to make sure that we have something nearby to hold on to or reach out to if we need support. So a chair that's stable, a wall or similar. The other thing you're going to want is just to have either something very simple like a ball or a weight. A tin of beans is absolutely fine too. So the first exercise we're going to do, we're going to focus on a couple of things. So we're going to be doing an exercise where we're in a position much like a single leg deadlift, and where we're going to pass the ball or the weight from hand to hand. So when we're doing this, we want to focus on the foot having full contact all through the heel, the ball of the foot, outside edge, inside edge, toes, throughout the whole time. We also want to make sure that we have a soft knee, so we're going to keep it from being locked out. That way we're going to actually challenge things a little bit more, rather than relying on the bone on bone and cartilage and similar to hold us up. From there then, when we get into this position, we want to feel like we're straight through the back as much as possible, rather than arched up, or more often you see people hunched over like this. So we want to try and think long from head to heel, so you can reach that heel back. You don't need to go extremely low. You can just lift up a little bit and start working at that position, and then increase it. The better you get, the more comfortable you feel. In order to get really good engagement with your foot into the floor, think about pressing into it gently. So you're going to press in, and then it's like you're slightly kind of pulling it between ball, foot and heel, if you can think about that. If you can't, don't worry about it. But it's a little bit like you're pressing down and just gently kind of pulling back from even the toes or the ball of the foot backwards. And then we're just going to work from there. So grab the item of your choice. We're going to reach back with that heel so we get really long, try not to hit a wall. And then we're going to pass the weight over to one hand and then the other hand. So as we do this, we're just going to be changing where our center of mass goes, and the foot and ankle and the hips all have to react to try and hold our stability. Try to do anywhere between 10 to 20 reps, passing from side to side, and obviously try it on both sides. So reaching back. How far you reach with this weight, how far you bring it across, is going to depend on how heavy the weight is. So if I go too high with this, I'm going to strain my shoulder. So I'll simply go as far as feels like I'm going to start losing stability or control over it, or start straining the shoulder. And of course, if you have only a ball, you can probably go all the way out. If the ball's in my right hand, I'll grab it. So here, I'm going off further. And then stand back up. Ideally, but it's okay if this is happening at the start, ideally we don't want the toes to be scrunching up. We want them to actually stay straight. Even though they're going to press into the floor, we still want them to stay fairly flat and not bent at the knuckle type portion. The next exercise is fairly similar, but we're going to be rotating the hips in order to create the stability challenge. So we're going to get into a similar start position, though for this one I particularly recommend starting at a level where you're only slightly going back. And then we're going to rotate the leg and our whole body really forward or over and back, so right and left, clockwise, anti-clockwise. We're going to try to achieve the same goals with the foot. Don't let it lift off the floor in any part, and keep the knee a little bit soft. So if I want to go a little bit deeper in this, I can, and then I can go as far as I feel my range will let me, from one way to the other way. This really challenges the inside and outside edges of the foot to stay equally pressed into the floor. As we go across this way, behind us, our foot will pronate more through the arch, so it'll flatten more. And as we go this way, we'll actually create supination, which is going to lift the arch up, which means the big toe has to work a little bit harder to stay on the floor. It's excellent for improving that pronation supination of the foot. That's basically the two exercises. So what I recommend is you do those, then you do the core circuit that's going to be underneath this video, and then you come back to this and see, did you improve in either of them? Because there's a strong connection between our balance and stability and our torso, our core, and how our spine works.